I also do not encourage begging on the roadside, because begging in itself is another scam. It's part of the Free the Sheeple movement. You see children on the road, you give them money, you're not helping them. Those children should be in school or should be learning a trade, but they are being used to beg money. The parents gather the money and they kick out to one madam or one chairman who keeps them there. Oh, it's a racket. So if you want to give to someone, go to the hospitals. You would see people who cannot pay their bills. It's there. There are people who go to the state hospitals. You see someone that gave birth, the bill is 15K, has been there 1 year, 3 months because of 15K. That one, you cannot give them that 15K and disappear. That's not part of the racket. By me saying give to charity, I don't mean start sharing money on the road. No. Make people's lives better. There are people who can't wear clothes. Buy them clothes. There are people who are hungry. Feed them. Instead of giving your money to a man in a suit standing behind a pulpit lying to your ass.
Has any pastor reached out to you?
Oh, so many. Including my former pastor, a man who I hold in high regard and I'll choose not to mention. We had a long talk, and I respect him a lot. And I'm sure at the end of the talk, I was able to get him to listen to a bit of what I'm trying to say too, and I can't say we reached a consensus, but we heard each other. And they're the ones that see me there and are watching me from afar and praying wicked things to me, and I'm laughing at them.
Okay, so if you're going to stand in from the Free the Sheeple movement, if you're going to advise churches now on what churches and people on what they should do regarding tithing, what would you say is the best way for every person out there who pays tithe, that this is what you should do and you know that you do not stand the risk of hellfire?
Matthew 25. If you're a person, stop giving your money to any building, stop giving your money to any man. Give your money to the people Jesus said you should give, you should help. It's there. Sick, naked, people who can't take care of themselves, widows, orphans, strangers. Help them. Now, I went to Genesis Deluxe Cinema the other day, and it was a Wednesday, and I watched a movie for 700 naira or something. And while watching the movie, I was like, wow. So someone can sit inside this hall, collect this AC, watch this movie for 700 naira. Why are you taking big money to go and give a church? First of all, these people are paying taxes, the church is not. Secondly, most of the people working in the church are volunteers. Here, there are people who have to be paid salary. So if this person can sell movie tickets for 700 naira and still make profit after paying rent, tax, all these things, why am I giving 10,000 naira as offering in a church? For what exactly? Why am I so lazy? Why can't I just obey the voice of Jesus and go and genuinely help someone who needs help? You see a pastor wearing Gucci and Louboutin and Rolex, and I wear all those things, but I sweat for it. I don't collect people's 10%.
Speaking about pastors who dress in fashionable ways,
yes,
isn't it just normal that these people have stylish sides of them? Because they're pastors.
The moment you collect 10% from anybody, you have no right to be stylish. On whose bill?
But what if the churches have a structure whereby the pastors have the salary and they don't necessarily have everything that comes from the tithe?
Let me see them stop collecting tithe. Let them stop for 1 year and let's see who will still be a pastor. Maybe you can come and preach. Stop collecting tithe. Preach that word that Jesus preached. At least Jesus did not collect tithe. Jesus fed the 5,000. In Nigeria, the 5,000 feed these thieves. Imagine Jesus standing on the pulpit and collecting food from the 5,000. Poor people. I've heard doctrines like, even if you came here with 50 naira and that's all you have, give it, let God bless you. I'm like, hello, someone that came with 50 naira, that you should dash 100 naira so he can find his way home. You are telling him to bring his transport money. And yeah, I cannot encourage anybody to give any money to. I'm sorry. If I go to the Catholic Church, I give 1,000 naira or 500. I pay for the AC and the ambience you're giving me. But it ends there. There's always somebody who needs food. There's always somebody who needs rent. There's always somebody who needs water. There's always somebody who needs school fees. And if I give it to the school, the church, they will build a school that person that needs school fees will still not be able to attend.
Okay. But what if individuals decide they go to church today, there's probably a visiting pastor, and they were moved by the message, and they say, okay, so if you feel moved and you want to give, you can come and give. Do you think there's anything wrong with that?
You see, offering, on the other hand, is something that was done in the Bible. The disciples received offering. But there's something Paul said. Paul said, since we work by the gospel, we should live by the gospel. But I would rather die than enforce that right I have to live by the gospel, so that tomorrow I can brag that I preach this message to you free of charge. That's another part of the Bible they don't preach. And it's a part of Nigerian pastors I don't see, even the ones that call themselves Paul, and I don't see that side of Paul in them. Nobody wants to brag that they are preaching this message to you free, except me, of course. That's why I have a day job. So anything you see me wear, just know that it's either I worked for it and they paid me money. Not that anybody came to give me anything, because don't come and dash me things. There are people who need, if you love me, hire me to be your MC. Then pay me fees that I charge as MC, or come on my show or sponsor my program, but do not dash me money because you heard me speak well. There are people who need dashing of money. Genuine people.
Okay, now let's talk about pastors who have been in the news for controversy, for different scandals, so to speak. Now, as men of God who are supposed to be leaders, and then you hear them in the news for scandals, and then they don't come out to defend themselves, or they come out to make these people that accuse them look like, I would say, look like they're not saying the truth. What do you have to say? Are you of the opinion that men of God should not even be involved in scandals at all?
This is where grace comes in. The teaching of grace. You see, we cannot obey all the law. It's not in us. No matter how much Holy Spirit you try to learn, we know that is why Jesus had to die for your sins. Because he knows that you cannot obey all the law. And guess what? The law is ridiculous. Leviticus 19:27 says do not shave your beard. And Leviticus 19:28 says do not tattoo. And then all your daddy geos have clean shaven beard, and they'll be telling someone that has tattoo that person is a sinner. Is it not mediocrity and hypocrisy at the highest? Buffoonery? How can you are breaking 27, but you are pointing finger at someone that is breaking 28, whereas the two of them are tied together? So it's obvious you can't keep the law. So yes, sometimes people fall short. I wouldn't say, I'm a human being. I've not fallen short. I pray to God I don't fall short. But if I do fall short, it's because I'm a human being. And his grace, his blood that was shed for my redemption is available for me to tap into. So I will not look at a pastor who had a scandal as a bad person. It's how he handles that scandal that will make me. You don't come out and tell us that you are going to give us, like that clown in Abuja. What did he say? He was going to give us a robust reply. And he sweeps it under the gutter. That's wrong. If you come out and say, look, I did this, I'm sorry, or you decide that you cannot come out and say you are sorry, do you understand? Don't make the person look or feel less than a human being. Look at the other one that locked that woman up for... I can get angry if there are things you say about me, I would lock you up. But I would lock you up maybe 2 days, 3 days after that. The Spirit of God would say, leader of the free nation, you have put someone inside prison. You know, I can't keep a woman in prison for 3 months because she said something about me. I don't know how to defend that. Jesus is clear on using mercy instead of judgment. And it's displayed when the woman with the issue of blood was caught in the very act of adultery. It wasn't a rumor of adultery. It wasn't a suspicion. She was caught in it. And he didn't give judgment. He gave mercy. So where's the mercy? That's my question.
Okay. Now let's deviate a little bit. Let's talk